This is fucking awesome.
Are you ready to do this disclaimer?
Oh, dude, better out than in, I always say. Fuck's my lighter, dude. You got my lighter?
No.
Oh, fucking warning, dude. This shit contains graphic language, funny subjects, fiction, and a lot of real shit. So, if you're not into real shit, fuck off.
You gonna come hang out with me, Hockey Sticks? Yeah? Right on. Oh shit. What's up, y'all out there? I'm back from San Diego over this past weekend and saw... I went and saw the stadium tour with Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Joan Jett, and Poison. And this show has been postponed for 2.5 years. We were supposed to go see them, I believe, September of 2020. August or September or something like that. And we all know what happened with that. You know, like when you buy tickets in advance, you know, you buy these tickets months in advance, and I must have bought them. I think I bought them in 2019. Because I think, yes. I bought them in 2019 because I had presented them to my daughter and my fiance for Christmas that year. So we were all excited. Like, this was going to be like her graduation gift. Go out there, or graduation, just... I always say graduation from the next grade. I've always said that ever since she was a kid. Excuse me. So, not really graduating, just... Excuse me. Oh. Fucking terrible. Eating horrible. Not taking care of yourself is not good for you. Anyway, so yeah. So that happened. You buy them months in advance. I bought them the year prior, and then COVID happened. The crazy thing is, I mean, I've told the story a million times, but it's just funny. October of 19, my coworker at the time, he came home from Disneyland, and he got fucking hammered fist, but he was just sick. He was just, I mean, no one really diagnosed him with anything like that. So I think at one point in 2019, most people were getting it. They just didn't know what they had. They're just like, man, I'm really fucked up. So anywho, so we go down. My daughter's not coming with us at this point because she had made prior plans, unbeknownst to me, and she really didn't care about going. No big deal. Whatever. So we finally go, and I already have anxiety about going to San Diego. I live in the Central Coast, so it takes around 3.5, 4 hours to get there if traffic permits it. But we all know how the 101, Santa Barbara traffic, the 405, and any... You know, the 5, it gets all fucked up. It doesn't matter what day it is, even if it's a Sunday. But anyways, I had anxiety about that, so we had to leave super early, which wasn't super early because we left around 8 or 9 o'clock. Traffic was great. We were already starting things off on the right foot. Went to go visit my mother-in-law. That was awesome. Then one of my fiance's best friends ended up going with us. And it's kind of a really good feeling when you get to be around people that genuinely are enjoying themselves. And they're appreciative because they have a sentimental value, or not sentimental value, but just like a history and memories from what these bands did for her, or just, what they mean to her or what they mean to that person. And I think now this younger generation feel that they are owed every bit of everything because it's now available to do. It's just like, well, I want to do it. Let's do it. It's like, do you not work for anything? No, I'm expected of it because you're my parent and that's what happens. It's funny, me having children. I mean, I guess that any decent parent always feels that they need to do better for their kids compared to what their parents did for them. I think that's just kind of like a common ground. So you always want to do better, but I think now we just feed into all that and feelings and all that shit. So it's very gimme, 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 want. So anyways, it was really nice to know that somebody was coming, and we knew she was going to have a blast. So we were already stoked about that. So everything's just like kind of dialing in for a really good night. So we end up getting there pretty late. Not pretty late, but didn't realize that the show was going to start so early. I thought they were just going to open up gates early to get everybody seated, start the drinking and all that bullshit that most people do. So we missed Joan Jett. So listened to the last two songs of her set as we were approaching the stadium, which were at Petco Stadium, San Diego Park, or the San Diego Padres Park. Baseball stadium, for anybody that doesn't know, and I'm not a big baseball fan. This is my second time going to or seeing a show at Petco, and all this stuff's going to tie in why I started off with this. So we get up there, show Joan Jett just finished. They're getting this set ready for Poison. Now, I don't know, with me, I'm going to just tie a bunch of shit in together. When I used to play in a group, one of the biggest perks at the end of my time with that group was when we were playing at the Whiskey, we actually hired or paid for an engineer that was so fucking good at his job. I believe his name was Kyle. I think if JD listens to this, he'll probably end up letting me know, yeah, that's definitely wrong. It was this. But I have a gut feeling his name was Kyle. So this is around 2003, 2004. And we would pay him. We would ask him if he was going to be available for the show. And he would let us know if it was possible. And if it was, we would hire him. Because we knew that the day of that show, no matter if we had a sold out show or fucking nobody, or just our tag-alongs, our and ones were there. It didn't matter who was in that venue. He was going to make us sound golden, beautiful. So I don't know what was going on with the professionalism here, but these guys sounded horrible. I mean, there was a point where the drummer, Ricky Rocket's drums are just, his snare is just snapping, and it is just echoing and drowning out everything around it. Every snap, you just hear everything just like get caved in. And I think they played for an hour. I believe they played for an hour. Yes. And I think probably around 40 minutes, there was a good 30 seconds to a minute where it was perfect. Everything was so perfect. And then somebody just must have started fucking around with more dials. And it was all over the place. And Toolbag Brett Michaels. There was one thing that being in a group, we really did not want to wear our own merchandise. It just was like kind of those unwritten rules. And I think if we ever had to do it, we were just dreading it. And it was probably just for the promo of, trying to sell the t-shirts. But we didn't like it. I think any decent human being won't do that. Just let it speak for itself. This fucking guy gets on stage and he has his shirt Poison, the Poison Tour. Everybody's on the stadium tour, but it's their name on the back instead of, we know whose tour this is, Motley Crue. Or what we really thought that night at the very end is Def Leppard closed the show out. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Or people were, maybe, I don't know, maybe people really were there to see Def Leppard and they made people sit there and watch Motley Crue the entire way to see Def Leppard. I don't know. I mean, it was really crazy to me. But what I realized, seeing that tool bag fucking Bret Michaels, I was so at awe. I mean, at one point, my guest was looking over, and my fiance's like, "Hey, are you okay? Are you having a good time?" And I was high as shit. First off, I'd taken a good amount of edibles, and I'm sitting there, and I guess I'm just overthinking things at the time because I'm just stone cold looking straight at it. But I'm trying to just wrap my head around how shitty the sound is, how Bret Michaels, really, you can't hear him. Like, you couldn't hear any of the vocalists. You couldn't even hear Vince Neil from Motley Crue. It just must be something with the outdoor sound, how it's just not bouncing back to you and bouncing everywhere and reflecting so you can just hear it everywhere. I don't know. It was horrible. You couldn't hear shit. Def Leppard came on and you can hear them just a tad bit more. So I'm fucking analyzing this whole entire set of Poison. And then at one point they stop and they fucking... These guys are supposed to be professionals. I can't play drums. I cannot play drums at all. I am trying to learn drums. It's hard as fuck. So when I see a guy that's been doing this since the 80s, and all these people have been waiting 2.5 years for this fucking show, there's probably Poison fans out there. I didn't see a lot of Poison shirt fans out there, but I'm sure there were. You hear this. What in the fuck was that? Imagine you are a drummer. Your whole entire life was dressing like Ricky Rocket and having the double kicks and having the big drum set and being able to twirl your drumsticks while you're fucking doing your thing. And you wanted the big hair and you wanted the fame and all the girls and all that stuff. And you finally get to see them in your hometown of San Diego. You waited 2.5 years for this. And they stop the song. They're done playing. Except for Ricky Rocket. And deep down inside, you're like, oh my God, here it is. Here it is. My hero. You have your wig on. You have your Ricky Rocket, everything going on. Your jacket, your big old fucking Undertaker jacket, but it's really colorful. And you're ready. You have your fucking air drums ready to rock. You're ready to imitate him. You've studied all his moves, and then he busts this out. Rooney! Oh. So, needless to say, that they were horrible. I couldn't figure out why they were popular at any point in life. Their music's horrible. Their music's not good. I guess you just had to be alive and like that music. I don't know. I didn't buy these tickets to go see anybody else besides Def Leppard because of how much they fucked me up with Journey. When I saw them at Petco Stadium, Petco Park with Journey. Couple years, like maybe the year prior to that when I bought these tickets. So it must have been 2019. I saw them. So I really just wanted to see Def Leppard. So I had no, really, besides Every Rose Has a Thorn. That song, I think I've heard another song from them that was familiar. I don't even really know anything about Poison besides Bret Michaels and his stupid show that he did. And I'm very vague on those too. Joan Jett, you know, I know a little bit about her. I mean, if I would have saw her performance, I probably would have been stoked about it. It sucks that I missed that. Okay, but those two out of the way, we got Motley Crue and Def Leppard on the way. Motley Crue was an experience. But it's so weird to see people. I mean, they're still rocking. First off, Mick Mars' guitar fucking destroyed. I honestly didn't think he was even going to survive once COVID came around. I'm like, we're not even going to see these guys. He's not going to survive this. Look at him. You know, if you think Ozzy Osbourne, it looks fucking terrible. Look at Mick Mars. But the dude fucking shredded. He destroyed it. He fucking destroyed that guitar. He was so goddamn good. Besides, like, the familiar songs. Shout at the Devil, Girls, Girls, Girls. I don't know. Those are like two of the ones just right off the top of my head. I really don't know a lot about Motley Crue. But man, did they perform. But it was so weird to see people on the top of their game at one point, you know, just destroying shit. They were good. They were really good. But the outfits. I guess I don't follow them enough to know that these fucking people wear this shit outside in public. Tommy Lee's still wearing, you know, t-shirt, jeans, whatever. He's like kind of like your normal 50-something-year-old guy now. You know, 50-something back in the day was suit and tie still. Now it's way different, you know. I have older gentlemen that come into my establishment, backwards hats, fucking saggy jeans, fucking oversized shirts, and they're pushing their mid-50s. It's just a state of mind now, I guess. Guess we got to just keep ourselves, like, mentally young. And if that makes us happy, right on, make it happen. But Vince Neil... I always want to say Vince Young, but it's just a football player. It just sounds better, Vince Young, instead of Vince Neil. It just shows how much I don't really know about him. I couldn't hear his vocals. He wasn't really going crazy around the stage. Mick Mars, him. So there's 4 members in the band, and 50% of your group just stands there. Thank God you are Motley Crue, and you've been doing this for so many years, and you've established such an army and legion of fans with good music. But don't get me wrong, I'm a fan now. Because that performance last night was fucking awesome. Little disappointing knowing that nothing else was going on. Nikki Sixx was crushing it. Tommy Lee was crushing it. Tommy Lee trying to, you know, with his antics. Okay, I've seen titties. Let's see some dicks. Let's see some dicks. Oh, dude, you're going to do it, bro? Fucking A, bro. Fucking, let me turn this down a little bit. Fucking A, bro. If you show your dick, it's going to be like 60 feet, like a big 60-foot dick. Right on. I mean, sometimes you feel like people overdo their character. You know? Like if you ever were like a wrestling fan and you ever go to the conventions, sometimes they just overdo their character. Sometimes you just want to see the person. You know, I don't want to see the fucking Motley Crue back in the 80s because I'm not seeing the Motley Crue in the 80s. You know, if you told me Mick Mars was a goddamn fucking robot that played last night, I kind of would have believed it because he was just there doing his thing. He walked around. He's like, I can fucking move around and play. Right on. There's robots out there. I saw a robot fucking playing the drums. Like blast beats. Like blast beats. That's fucked up. It's fucked up. So anyway, so they fucking rocked it. They had these I guess it was three girls that were dancing. Good looking women. And they were the kind of like the backup vocals as well. Kind of bring in some more range to it, which was fucking sweet. So yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I have anything of Motley Crue on here. Okay, before I, yeah, see, I mean, they were fucking, I guess you can kind of hear that, huh? No, that's the other. Oh, so yeah, so I'll play a little bit of this real quick. Check this out. So Motley Crue rocked it. They just hearing that clip kind of fucking bothers me. So see, like you really can't hear his vocals at all. It's like they're just muffled. And I mean, I was kind of confused because you could hear the vocals really well in this audio that I took with my phone, and you couldn't hear it like that at the stadium. Really super weird. So then Def Leppard comes on. They're fucking bad. They're fucking so badass. They were good, but they just for some reason they didn't have the energy like they did. And you know what? I guess this is what's gonna chalk this. I believe I had an epiphany. Actually, not an epiphany. I had a conversation with my fiance about it. We were I believe it was this. I think it was last night or early this morning when we got home. Got home like around 4 in the morning. She goes, you know what probably what influenced our first concert was the acid we were on. Yeah. I didn't even think about I knew we did it. I knew it was a key element, you know, of like that epicness of that whole entire night. Just didn't put two and two together at how much of an influence it would have been because I'm not a big drinker. I had a Modelo for that entire show and it was horrible. I did not enjoy it. I had my edible. I mean, I was flying high like through that whole entire Poison set, which would suck because I wish I would have been on that journey during like Motley Crue and Def Leppard. I had to listen to shitty music high as a kite. So just bad choices, people. Bad timing. Not bad choices, bad timing. So that was a trip. It's like, yeah, acid. I mean, I'm not trying to promote anything like that, but you know, it was fucking awesome. It was fucking awesome. And that's kind of like how you want it. I think that's kind of how you want that first experience of some band that you really enjoy. When I saw Journey and Def Leppard, that was my first time ever being in that stadium and seeing those two bands. I was a big Journey fan. Just starting to listen to Def Leppard. As soon as I saw that show, I was fucking hooked on Def Leppard. But that whole show was just an experience from when we watched Cheap Trick. That was really cool. We didn't do acid. We were on acid then. I think we started doing it around, I think right before Def Leppard. I think once Cheap Trick stopped, and they started setting up their stage, I think we started doing that shortly after that. And it was fucking sweet. That was good timing. Edible with Poison, bad timing. I think if I would have been on acid watching Poison, I probably would have fucking tried to run out of the stadium. Oops, sorry. I keep knocking shit around because I had to adjust my office up. So 2.5 years I waited for this concert, and that's kind of like how life is. You know, it's just a gamble of how things are going to turn out. Sometimes you have really high expectations and high hopes, and it just doesn't turn out that way. Sometimes it does. Overall, I had a really great experience with Motley Crue and Def Leppard. It was fucking sweet. Sometimes I feel that these bands that have already established their name in life should just stop. But you can't just stop somebody who probably has the passion for their craft and they just have the urge to do it. I mean, I haven't played a show since 2015 and 2005, and I'm just, I have the urge and want, the yearning for it to play one more show just because of the feeling you get with the kick and the drum, with the bass and the crowd and the just the music that you're performing. It's like it's an addiction, it's a drug. It's so awesome. So I kind of get it, but what ruined it for me is Def Leppard takes kind of like a break. The drummer must have been doing his drum solo, which second show I've seen him, he's fucking amazing. He's still one of the coolest drummers to ever watch because of the condition he's in with, not having his left arm, playing drums with his left foot he has a little kick pedal or a little pedal on his left foot that every time he stomps down, it simulates a snare pop, which is actually really hard if you're going to do like rolls, like snare rolls, like just taps like that. Imagine doing that with your left foot and your right hand, like 1 2 1 2 1 2. It's fucking kind of crazy. He's really talented. The fucked up part too that I noticed is he did the same drum solo as he did years ago as well. Limited, very limited. I get it. So overall, very good show. Very great company. Yeah, I don't really know if there's another band out there that's part of that 80s era that I would really, besides Huey Lewis in the News. I definitely want to see Huey Lewis in the News. Kind of one of those questions I like to really contemplate and think about and talk about it again. I want you to think about that. What is a band now? Go back 30 years. Let's go back 30 years. If bands or artists that are still going now that you have to see. Have to see now. No matter what. And how are you going to make that happen? I mean, is it even possible? You know who I have notification alerts set up for? Justin Timberlake. My lady talks about it all the time because she's a big NSYNC boy band nerd. Like, for real. As I'm talking to you guys in this podcast, I'm looking at all my lanyards hanging in my office, and the one that's dangling down the most is a fucking lanyard that has an NSYNC kind of like button on it. It looks like a compass. It's actually... Oh, fuck. We gotta go take a break because thank you for listening, because we're gonna definitely get copyright for that. All right, is it over? Unfucking believable. You'd figure it would light up, but I guess I turned it over and saw there's a speaker right there. Nerd. She's a big nerd, but I love her. Anyways, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Go out and see some shows. Go see a band that you've never seen before and enjoy, or a band that you really want to go see, and go make it fucking happen. All right. I love you guys. And as always, keep positive, stay classy. Peace.